Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. I am doing okay myself, feeling a lot better than I have been. We haven't been dropping any videos lately. Have you ever had the frustration factor set in where you feel like I'm doing a whole lot of things but not getting anything done? Well, that's where I am. And first and foremost, you haven't seen any Ford Fairlane, the project car. I haven't seen any videos on the Ford Fairlane, and I'm going to show you one of the things that I'm a little bit frustrated with as I turn the camera around. This rear end. Now, this is the 9-inch Ford rear end that we purchased to go under the Ford Fairlane. Yeah, it's a custom housing that is 1 inch narrower, ½ inch on each side, to go under the Fairlane and tuck the tires in nicely. And I'm kind of frustrated because I have not had the, time, money maybe, to get the center section that I want. With putting that rear end in, I refuse to put it in without everything that I need to put everything under there, because I really don't want to take the Fairlane all the way down and then find myself with the Fairlane sitting up on jack stands, whatever, while I'm waiting for parts. And that's where I am on that. Why? Because I don't want to just put the rear end under there. I want to upgrade. I probably will end up, I want to upgrade to disc brakes, don't get me wrong, but it's really not one of those things that's a necessity. It's probably a luxury. And disc brakes are about the same price if you get a value type of system. I'm not going to put, 6-piston wheel was on the back of that 66 Ford Fairlane because it's overkill. But by the same token, I want to put something under there nice. And if I put the rear end under there, of course, you have these 1966 leaf springs under there, which means I'll have to go get either a new suspension or go with some new leaf springs. There are so many varieties out there. Some of them are on back order. The ones that I want are more money than I want to pay. The axles I did purchase with the rear end, but as you get the picture, there's just so many things that when you pull down an old car, whatever small thing you want to do usually snowballs into way more than you probably want to get involved with at that particular time. So that's why we're on a standstill. And when I get standing still, I get frustrated because I want to move forward. So most of you guys who tune in to this channel for Maverick content, tune in to see Maverick content. We haven't had any content to report other than the fact that we've had some service issues that we had to take care of. We took care of the hood release, and I told you all the story about what happened when they took my aftermarket hood struts off, and the frustration that I felt about them taking them off without asking me. I got over that, put the hood struts back on. But in that same trip, we also took it in so that we would get the USB port fixed. That was the reason why I dropped it off. Well, they said they would contact me, and I hadn't heard anything. So I called the dealership about a week ago. They put me on hold 3 times. On the 4th time, the lady comes back and says, let me take your number, and I'll have the person in the service department call you back and let you know if the USB port that they said they had to order had come in. Now, 1 week later, on my day off again, I call down there. I get put on hold 3 times again. I finally get somebody to sign. And I said, hey, I was in. You said you were ordering my USB port. I haven't heard anything. Has the part come in? Or, what's going on? So I wait another 5 or 6 minutes, and the person comes back and says, yes, Mr. USB port is here. Would you like to schedule to have it put in? Now, here's my frustration with that. Over a week and a half ago, when I picked my car up, they said they would order a part and they would let us know when it come in. How long has the part been sitting there and no one let me know that it was in? So now I had to schedule an appointment to have it put in, which will be on the 29th, which is after Thanksgiving. What would have happened if I hadn't called when no one had called me at all? How long has the part been in? I don't know. That is my frustration factor with service that we have right now. Now, maybe this shouldn't frustrate me, and yes, this has become the new norm as far as getting service work done at any dealership. I understand that they're short-handed. The people who are there may not be as knowledgeable as they should be. So, yeah, we'll just have to grin and bear it. But for all of you guys who may be wondering, what is wrong with your USB port? Well, we don't know. It stopped working. And I've heard a couple of people say that theirs had not been working properly. Mine had seemed like had a short in it for a long time, and I thought it was the cord, but it was actually the USB port. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what the USB port is doing and how you can identify this as something that you should take to the dealer. Matter of fact, if it's not working, then do so anyway, but I'm going to show you exactly what it's doing. I'll turn the camera around. Okay, as you look at the USB port, I'm going to show you what it does when you plug the USB cord in. And watch closely. Come on now. Yeah, plugs in there. Just do that. See that? It blinks. Hope you guys can see that on film. It's blinking, which indicates that there is an issue. So don't leave it in and you pull it out, and of course it stops. That is the indication that there is something wrong with my USB port. Why did it take that long? Is this a common part that they use in all the other models, including the Maverick? But that's the issue or the question. Did it take the part a long time to get there? Just by coincidence, I called today and it just came in, or has it been there a while? I don't know, because no one called me. And that's where I get frustrated, because you're waiting and waiting, you hear from someone, and then you call and no one answers the phone for a very long time. And thank God I'm off today, because usually when I call, if I'm at work, I don't have time to sit there and be put on hold 3 and 4 times before I get an answer. And that's no matter what time I've called. I mean, and it's not just one dealership, it's most of the dealerships that I've dealt with. The criteria is the same. You have to sit and wait and wait and wait, and that's frustrating me. And it's just like I was talking about earlier as far as the parts for my Ford Fairlane. You don't know, and I don't even want to begin to get on here and tell you how many engine builders that I have talked to that either don't get back to you or say that they have nothing. And I know there are going to be a lot of people who want to blame the current administration on this, but this did not just happen. This is something that we saw coming during the outbreak of COVID. Then we had the whole world almost shut down, and now here we are. We have shortages of parts, businesses going out of business because they don't have any pieces and the things that they need to keep operating. And for all intents and purposes, everybody I'm talking to sounds like this is going to last longer than you and I want to wait, and it's going to add to our frustration factor. Before I did my last project car prior to the Fairlane, you basically could order something, everything was on hand, 2 days minimum, or 2 days maximum, let's just say, and you would get whatever you need. But now I don't want to put money out there and have people saying, well, and here's the new thing, it's shipping directly from the manufacturer. They won't tell you how long it's going to be, and they don't know themselves how long it's going to be. So when you order something, if it's not saying in stock, it'll say ships directly from manufacturer. And then if you go, for instance, I looked at a Ford Racing short block, thought maybe to go that route instead of having the entire engine and buying the short block and putting the heads and doing the engine myself. You go to some of the more higher end parts places like Summit, Jegs, and they will say the projected ship date is, and it'll either be late into this year or it'll even be the middle of next year for some of these parts. But then if I go to Ford Racing site, I mean the actual manufacturer, the actual supplier of the part, they say sold out, this part is currently not available. So then you give them, it'll say get notified when this part is back in stock. And I put in my email and my phone number to be texted or emailed when any of those parts become available. And so far, I have not gotten a hit back yet. Not one. So I even called one of the more prominent engine builders. I'm not going to put their name out here because I'm not putting them on blast. It's just an illustration. And I called and said, hey, I want to have an engine built, and every place I call is telling me that you have to put down a deposit and they're not sure when you will get the engine built. And the problem with doing that, if you put a large amount of money out there and one of these places goes out of business, good luck on getting your money back. You may end up in court trying to prove that you even gave your money. So that's what I don't want to do. But this particular engine manufacturer, and I know they build quality engines because I see their stuff all the time, and they told me, okay, yeah, I just want to let you know, yeah, I feel your frustration, but right now we can't offer you anything. We have no engine blocks, so we can't build engines. So we can't even begin to tell you what we do and do not offer because we don't have anything. Now, is that frustrating? It's frustrating to me, but my heart bleeds really for those folks who are in this position. We're talking about people whose livelihood is to sell these products, engine blocks, high-end stuff like that, and they can't get the stuff that they need. And I even asked one of the engine builder suppliers, I'm like, hey, so what is the problem? Is the problem with manufacturing? Is the problem that we don't have steel? What is it? And no one seems to have the answer to how do we fix this. And to me, this is truly frustrating. We live in a world right now where it's just like we don't know what's going on and we don't even know how to fix it. So yeah, it's somewhat frustrating. But that's part of life. I try not to let these things that are frustrating interfere with who I am. So when we air out our frustrations, as I may do on this channel sometimes, that's not indicative of where I am mentally or spiritually, because the Bible tells us this: be careful for nothing, but by prayer and supplications, let your requests be made known. So we put all of what we do, all of what we want, all of what God has for us in His hands, and then allow Him to do the rest. Yes, it is frustrating for a little while, but we know that the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but they that endure unto the end. That's what God's word says. So we keep things in perspective, and yes, sometimes when we are dealing with things that we need right away, we do get frustrated. Is the USB port deal going to kill me? No. It is a little inconvenient when I get on the road. I'll just use my phone and just use the GPS navigation that is on the phone and not use it through the USB port onto the Sync 3 system. So that's where we are. I hope you guys are getting ready. We're getting ready for our second Maverick meetup. We're having it at Dixon Park here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We have a number of people who are coming, and I have announced it on every one of these videos of the last 4 or 5 videos. And now this is Wednesday, November 16th. We are 10 days away from the next Maverick meetup. So if you guys have not done so already, please text your first name to the number that is provided in the description on these videos, and that is all you need to register. And know that we are going to give an award to the Maverick that comes from the farthest distance, and then we will have an award for the best appearing Maverick, which will be voted upon by everyone who shows up. Right now it's a number of people who've already confirmed that they are coming, and however many there are, it's a good time to get together, because we who have our Mavericks enjoy them. We go through a little frustration, with a new model, new brand model that comes out. Certainly there are going to be some times when we have a little this and a little that wrong, but for the most part, I now have 9,000. What do we got? 9,141 miles on my Maverick. And so far, so good. I mean, just some little minor doodads here and there, but other than that, I'm loving it. It's my daily driver, so we spend a lot of time. And my mom, who you see on some of these videos when I take her some places, she always gets in and she always says, I just love this little car. And I say, Mom, this is a little. I say, Mom, it's a truck. She goes, yeah, but it's a little car because you can ride everybody in. I said, okay, Mom. So we'll call it a little car for Mom's sake. But to me, it's a little truck, and I'm enjoying it, enjoying ownership of it. I did think about this though, guys. Tell me what your opinion is. I asked you guys' opinion on the last video, and I'm going to ask it on this one. Due to the fact that I haven't been able to do much to the Fairlane. I'm getting ready to retire. I even thought in my mind, I said, you know what? Right now I can get about 10 grand more than what I owe on my Maverick. And if I sold my my Ford Fairlane, I could order me a brand new Bronco. But is the Bronco really usable for me? And I'm asking you guys opinion, and you all don't even know where I drive. Well, you might know. This is my daily driver. It's gas mileage friendly. It gets great gas mileage, and I know going in that the Bronco will never get the gas mileage that I get on this. Is it a fair trade-off for me to have a little higher end vehicle? I would be able to still tow my little boat. I'd get me a little trailer for that. If I didn't have the Fairlane in the garage, then the boat would sit on a little trailer in there. It was just something I was just kicking around in my mind the other day. I thought about getting the new Bronco in the Wild Track, which would be, I think it has 35-inch tires on it or something like that. I did like it, and I did have 2 on order at one time, and I just decided not to before I bought the Mach 1. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. What would you do if it was you? Because I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. I'm going to pray and say, Lord, show me. And I think I already know the answer that the Lord's going to give me. The Lord doesn't act unseemingly and tell us to do things that are unseemingly or not smart either. So it was just a thought that I had. But you guys sign up, continue to watch the channel. There will be some more stuff coming. We're getting into the winter months, and we don't have as much time to do stuff outside. We're working with daylight hours that are minimal here as we go into daylight savings time here in Virginia. So usually I go to work and it's dark, and when I come home it's dark. So on these days off, I get out and I do something. Today what I'm going to do is I was going to wash the Maverick off, but it rained so hard last night. I was looking at it like, well, is it really worth it? But the ceramic coat that I have on the Maverick, even when it gets dirty, when the rain comes, it washes 99% of any dust or dirt off, and then I'm done, because it's such a great coating that the little stuff that does get on it comes right off with very minimal washing. So it's about ready to go, other than maybe washing the wheels and tires that get a little brake dust on them. Other than that, I'm good to go. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you on the next one.